Like we stopped being a scientific people. Like it's not scientific.
But the left certainly stayed scientific.
No, they didn't.
Why not?
Because they think gender that they went way too far with, that's not scientific.
Before we continue, note this face. This will be your face when we finish this clip.
How did they go too far with like gender stuff? And I'm not
instead of, well, if I was teaching children, what I would teach them is there is a default setting for the human being, which is heterosexuality, but that doesn't mean every person is that, and we should completely respect everyone who isn't that. But we understand that that's called a minority, and what makes us a great country is that we respect minorities. We don't think they're lesser just because they're lesser in numbers. That's not what we started to teach, which was that every baby is, I don't know, let's not even put it on the birth certificate. That's what they wanted.
Were we teaching that?
Yes, we were.
When were we teaching that?
Teaching it. It was a law here in California. See,
to teach what?
Don't put sex on the birth certificate. We'll see. Now, we've passed that period now.
I'm sorry, I don't remember that. I mean,
I know, because it doesn't get in the blue sky bubble.
Wait a minute, I'm not just on blue sky.
I really think that's a lot of it, is that some of this stuff doesn't get in to everybody's media.
What in the actual flying four-letter word is Maher talking about here? He would then pull a Trumpian defense to this.
I'm of a mind, because I remember the African-American community was always saying there's brutality from the cops. Everyone said, oh, that's ridiculous. Stop it. This is all myth. And then cops started wearing body cameras, and lo and behold, there's all this footage of violence towards black people.
There was also a lot of footage of violence that they did on white people, but that didn't make it into videos. You see, nobody cared about that.
This dude is effing crazy. Where, oh where, have we heard this before?
Let's talk about George Floyd. You said George Floyd's death was a terrible thing.
Terrible.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
That is Bill Maher's answer right there.
If you're saying the left went too far with gender, maybe that was a function of, okay, these people are scared, they're being targeted, and we're watching them be targeted right now. We're watching transgender people be targeted in a very aggressive way. So
we are? Where?
Oh my God.
Where are they being targeted?
My goodness. You ever see someone who is so obtuse that your jaw just drops? That is me watching this hack.
I mean, what's going on in England right now is a lot of that. I mean, like,
what's going on in England?
Again, not in the bubble.
Okay,
doesn't get in the bubble.
Wait a minute, just tell me.
It really doesn't. It's a big. I don't even want to start with it, but it's like just a lot of violence, protests, immigration, cities that Andrew Sullivan, for example, says are places that my grandfather would not even recognize anymore as British.
Of course he went there. Of course. We have a history, as we have shown previously. If you missed it, here that is.
New rule, if converting to Islam is all it takes to get the terrorists off our backs, then all I have to say is... Comes from a hate-filled holy book, the Quran. The most popular name in the United Kingdom, Great Britain, this was in the news this week, for babies this year was Muhammad. Am I a racist to feel I'm alarmed by that? Because I am. When that stuff is in your head, it just gives you this neurological disorder. Talk to women who've ever dated an Arab man. The reviews are not good. If Muslim men could get laid more, we wouldn't have this problem. It's a culture of suicide bombing.
Most Muslim people in the world do condone violence.
It's been going on 1,000 years, this problem between Islam and the West. I'm not an Islamophobe. That's wrong. I am a truth lover.
Why is Islam the one religion about which so many in America and the West censor themselves when it comes to talking about or making fun of? Is it just fear?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, because they're violent, because they threaten us, and they are threatening. They bring that desert stuff to our world. I said the same thing Friday night. You know, we don't threaten each other, we sue each other. That's the sign of civilized people.
But she wants to drive.
They want the best part of America, the modernity, They want all the good stuff.
point
They
is,
want to
this
have a
was
cell
not a
phone to
problem
call
until
to say,
September
hey
11th.
guys, come over to the beheading.
Yeah, I saw the clip of you on Bill Maher. I'm not a big fan of Bill Maher.
Oh, yeah, no. He's undercover, right wing, racist.
It's a trend, rather a mindset he has had for some time. To go further,
Bill Maher. So we're in such a legendary era of dick riding. You know what I mean? We're in such a legendary era of dick riding. I think this is probably dick riding's best era. Bill Maher and Donald Trump got along. What a shocker. The thing that Bill Maher might not understand, that I understand, is that Bill Maher has way more in common with Donald Trump than he does with me or a lot of the other people who used to watch the show for a long time. You mean to tell me two rich, white, Ivy League educated atheists from New York had a great time together? Of course they had a great time together.
Sure.
Bill Maher is one step away from being the Donald Trump at any point. I would argue that the last couple of years, some of the criticisms made of Maher have pushed him further to
the right,
adopting and inculcating this sort of power, because he's coming back to the core of who he is. You know what the saddest thing about being an unattractive man is?
Tell me.
That you don't know when someone's trying. He fell for every bit of glamoring that Donald Trump threw his way. What he gave to Bill Maher was something that Bill Maher desperately wants. He gave him his whiteness back. He dug it because he could say things and not be checked for them, right? He enjoys a social order where no one checks his work. No one checks his work. Nobody. Even though he's making a living injecting his opinion about people's lives into the world, he wants that to be met with absolutely no pushback. He doesn't want to hear from the people whose lives are being affected. That is whiteness as a power construct.
not to be outdone, Bill Maher, according to Variety, I'll throw this up on screen, doesn't want to do stand-up comedy tours because, quote, I could get shot by the left or the right. Brother, that would mean somebody has to go to your show. The rest of his quote would go as follows. I don't want to be out there in this country, in this political atmosphere. It's a good time to not be out there. I'm also tired of being twice as funny as people who were selling twice as many tickets as me. Oh my God, he's so full of himself. Not that I didn't sell a lot of tickets and do great theaters, but I didn't sell arenas. Duh. And some people did who, frankly, are not that great, but you know, when the audience is 35 to 45, they don't want to see somebody 70. Oh, so you're being ageist. I just did my 13th HBO special. I feel that's a good body of work. I felt they basically get better as it went along. I feel like the last one was the best one, which is a good way to get off. Bro, if you insist. I mean, my God, what an absolute D-bag this guy is.